Hi, we're back here at Central Combat Sports. It's actually a new class going on in the background. You guys are probably here, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Back on the combat corner with Cedric, Benn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, this past weekend we had a big heavyweight fight: Deontay Wilder versus Dominic Brezeale. A lot of trash talking. I mean, there's always trash talking between two top guys, but this time was a little extra talking. It's always good when the two opponents actually don't like each other, and like in real life, not just for the fight. It always makes it a little bit extra personal. Guys always try, guys and girls, I should say, try a little bit harder.
Just selling the fight, Conor McGregor, Muhammad Ali,
Exactly. And I want to talk about that after, but when it comes to the talking, I think that the promoters should do a better job at just telling the guys, like, keep it within the fight, not the extra stuff. That could be a topic for another day. But anyway, with that being said, it just makes you look really bad if you lose. So if you're going to be doing all the talking, you got to make sure that you win. Anyways, going back to Deontay Wilder, man, that, plain and simple, he just has a perfect 1-2. Skills-wise, he definitely does not do most things fundamentally sound, but he has that one extra gear of strength. And anyone who, if you've played sports, any sport, like at some point in time, like there's some athletes that just have that extra gear of something, whether like for example, like track and field or football or something. You might see someone that's just extra gear of speed or just fast. If in basketball, you might play against someone that just has that extra jumping ability, just to jump, to jump high without practicing.
It's almost like unexplainable, It's just that they're just that much more athletic.
Exactly.
They just have that little push, I guess.
Exactly, and that's exactly what Deontay Wilder has. He has that extra gear of power. Comparing it to MMA, a few years ago, there was that guy Shane Carwin. Remember him? And same thing. He didn't even look like he hit guys cleanly, but he just had that extra gear of strength. So even though Deontay Wilder does not do a lot of things fundamentally sound, the one thing that he does perfect is a straight 1-2 right down the middle. He's had 40 fights, knocked out 40 people, or 41 and knocked out 40 of them, something like that, something close to that. And it's that same thing, that straight 1-2 right down the middle.
I thought you were gonna say trash talking was.
No. But that's his main thing. That 1-2 right down the middle. Even though his technique is off, another comparison is just like just looking at other great athletes that don't exactly have the perfect technique but still excel. Remember seeing this documentary on Usain Bolt, greatest sprinter ever, and this documentary, they were saying that like his sprinting technique is not perfect, like whatever, one of his knees like caves in or something like that. But exactly, speed, right? He has that extra gear, he has that extra length, and he uses it. Same thing with Deontay Wilder, man. That if he lands that 1-2, it's a good night. His one funny quote that he has is that most guys, he's like, everyone else when they fight me, they have to be perfect for 12 rounds. I just have to be perfect for 1 second, and that's exactly true.
Yeah, that's the truth, right?
So that's it right now. Anthony Joshua is fighting in a couple of weeks in early June. Of course, that's the fight that everyone wants to see, and hopefully we have it in this year coming.
So that'll pretty much bring us to our first tip, or what?
Yep. And so
I'll bring it in here, because that's going to bring us to a new segment that we kind of wanted to get started here. Is a good idea, because we have a boxing coach right here. We're always talking about boxing and stuff. So we're going to start with a thing. It's I don't know if it'll be weekly, but tip of the week from Coach Cedric, Benn, kind of reflecting on this fight too. Probably something that you've seen, right?
Exactly. I'm going to try to relate it to one of the main things that happened in the match from the past weekend, whether it's boxing or MMA. So just going back to that heavyweight fight, speaking of that straight 1-2 from Deontay Wilder, just keeping it plain and simple, to all the boxers that I train, MMA fighters that I train for the stand-up, I say you want to master the fundamentals. It's all good to learn the tricks and do all the other stuff, but just master the fundamentals. A simple 1-2. It sounds simple, but to master it is a whole different story, because to land it, especially at to get your full power on it, you want to be at your full extension of your arms. It's not just simply throwing a jab and then a cross, just with your arms still slightly bent. I'm going to make a YouTube video for it soon. explain, like just demonstrating exactly what I'm saying, using some examples too. And the accuracy right on the chin, not just anywhere. You see plenty fights where people get punched in the face, whether it's the nose or in the forehead, wherever, and they're bleeding all over, and they can still continue. But that 1-2, that the back of the knuckles right on the chin, that's the one that put people down. So just obviously a quick example, if you just Instagram or YouTube Deontay Wilder from the past weekend, it's only the fight's only one round. It could fit on it. Well, it might have been, I don't know if it was the first minute. I was about to say it might fit on an Instagram video. Actually, it might. I think I think it was in the first minute. But anyway, so you can YouTube that. Also, I just looked up YouTube exactly this: the 1-2 jab cross knockouts. That's it's just a compilation video of just straight perfect 1-2s right down the middle of guy. And like I said, it's not about winding up that cross. Just a simple stepping with that front foot, turning your hip and pivoting your foot on that back leg, putting the weight onto your front leg, and just landing at full extension. So check out that fight, Deontay Wilder, or the YouTube video 1-2 cross. Anyways, edit it.
Yeah, we'll find it. But I want to kind of give my little bit of 2 cents on that, because to kind of show people how that would kind of play across the field, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously learning the fundamentals and excelling at the fundamentals would go across any sport, anything really. But I'm going to obviously relate this to boxing and MMA. At the lower level, at the amateur level, like you said, guys that you're training and that are going to fights, boxing and MMA. One example that comes to mind right away is Sasha. I have a video of one of his fights that he was just 1-2 the whole time. All he did was 1-2 the whole time and won the fight, right? Justin did the same thing. I don't think it's on YouTube, but 1-2 down the middle and just hit the guy hard, and the guy couldn't come back, right?
Yeah, accuracy right on the chin.
Just the simple, you think of hockey is like spin, put it at the top shelf, but I could just walk in and just place the puck in the net. It's a goal, right? So just do the fundamentals, do the basics.
Exactly.
And just to kind of show how it starts here at an amateur level, and you get to the top level, world championship boxing, they're doing the exact same thing, right?
Same rules apply. Yeah.
Awesome, man. So obviously, one thing that we don't really plug a lot is like the gyms that you can come and train with Cedric here at Central Combat and at Windsor Amateur Boxing Club. But really quickly, as we've been talking throughout this whole brand new class here at Central Combat Sports, as you guys probably heard in the background and at the beginning, it's a new class called Fit for Life. It's a 1-hour exercise program for individuals with intellectual disabilities. Probably the only gym, like MMA, martial arts gym, that's offering something like this in the city, as far as I know. Obviously, it's offered elsewhere, but it's a little bit different, a little different dynamic. All support workers are welcome. It's Tuesday nights at 5 p.m. right now, as we're talking. $10 at Central Combat Sports, $15.65. Lozon, they warmed up, lift some weights. I think they're going to be hitting the bags and hitting focus pads and stuff like that. So it brings a little different element of exercise.
Good for their physical and mental health. Right?
Yeah, rather than just picking stuff up, do some boxing or whatever else. Darren, my brother Darren, will be implementing into the program. You can reach him. I'm going to give him the cell phone number, because he also has tickets for the MMA event that we talked about last week here on the Combat Corner. We'll talk a little bit about it quickly. Prospect Fighting Championship, local fighters, and actually keep the ticket, because you can get into Cheetahs for free after.
There you go.
Mentioned last time.
Make sure you keep that ticket, or give it to somebody.
Yeah, put it to use, man. Honestly, it could do a lot to get in there sometime, and they're always capitalizing on events, so give them a little bit of credit. We had a bunch of local fighters we talked about last week: Randy Field, Theo Tony, Lance Snow, who else? Matt Haskell.
That is in 2 weeks.
That's in like 2 weeks. At St. Denis Center, and we have another one announced. That guy from MTC, Shane Monahan.
Okay.
He is going to be going up against, I think he's from London, Craig Powers. So another Windsor guy on the card. We're still waiting for Tony and TJ's fights, and it's pretty stacked.
There was the last event that I know they had at the St. Denis Center was in the early 90s of Charlie Stewart put it on. It was a big boxing match there, so I wasn't around during that time, but I'm sure the atmosphere will be good, because the way they had the stands there, like the way they set it up for like the university teams, it's really enclosed. So it's going to be a really nice atmosphere. Make sure you get your tickets. Get there early. Hopefully they're selling alcohol.
Oh, they better, man. It'll be fun. It makes it that much big of a difference, and it would be good if school is actually going on to get the students out there. But they always have great events here in martial arts in Windsor, and I'm sure it'll be fun. First time in 20 years that they're gonna be running one there. But it'll be pretty intimate, and it'll be good as always. So for Drake Demore and Cedric Benn on the Win City Sports Podcast, Combat Corner. See you next week.
Have a good day.